Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and I happen to have an extremely long commute today, so I decided we're going to test out the Honda Civic in today's video to see if it really is as good as people claim in terms of being an amazing commuter, basically. So with that being said, as always, if you're going to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below, and let's just get right into the test. Okay, so we're now in the Civic, and I'll talk about some more details as we are driving the car, but there's some fundamental things this car has to be really good at to be a solid commuter car. So first off, it has to get good fuel economy. So I will set the trip computer. I'm not sure what it's getting at right now. Let's see if I can, I'll worry about it later. Anyways, that's the first thing, good fuel economy. Next thing, seat comfort's gonna be really important because, again, if you're gonna be commuting long distances, you don't want your back to hurt, so we're gonna be testing that out. You know, acceleration onto the interstate, all that kind of stuff is gonna be important. And then the driver's tech, like this stuff, the adaptive cruise control, steering assistance, all that, that's also gonna be really important because, again, if you're commuting long distances, then you want the car to do more driving for you so that you can be more relaxed. Obviously, we don't have full autonomous driving in today's world yet, but if the car's doing more work and you're doing less work, then that makes your commute just a little bit more comfortable. So we're going to see that. Sound system, I won't be able to like show you guys on video because of copyright infringement, but I'll at least listen to the sound system, then I'll report back if it's got a good sound system. And other than that, yeah, just being comfortable in general. So like if the climate controls work really well and all that kind of stuff, we'll just have to see. And so, yeah, with that being said, I'll reset the fuel economy. Oh, there we go. Here, this is what it's been averaging right now, but I will reset this and then we will see what I get today. Okay, so this is going to be the first part of the test, just me kind of talking about everything that I've discovered so far. So first off, from a sound system perspective, it's really solid. I've tried several different genres of music, from country to pop to rap to classical music. That's why I like using Sirius XM actually, is because they've got like everything on it. And by the way, I'm not sponsored by them, I'm just saying. Anyways, a bunch of different music genres, and just to kind of see how everything sounds with this Bose sound system. And yeah, it's really good. So like I don't have any complaints. It kind of takes you out of things when you're you know, on the commute, which is nice, so that you can kind of just relax, right? Now I'll kind of comment on the seats more so once I'm done with all of the mileage, but so far they seem to be pretty comfortable, and I don't think this has any lumbar though. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. I'm just feeling on the side of the seat here. Yeah, it looks like it's just got regular tilt and everything, so no lumbar on the seat. And then in terms of the safety tech, it's actually really good. So you got the blind spot monitoring, which is great. You guys can see that working right now with that semi truck. Adaptive cruise control, I'm just following this RAV4 in front of me. So I'm basically just matching the speed to this, so just going with the flow of traffic here. And the lane keep assist is really good, so I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. Don't do this. So I'm taking my hands off. It'll take a second before it gives me a warning. There we go, steering required. And then you have to grab with this one. So this isn't a system where you can just lightly touch with your hand. Now, if you have your hand on the whole time, just like lightly, you know, anywhere on the steering wheel, just kind of like this, then it is pretty, and you guys can tell, like I'm doing this to, again, demonstration purposes. It's really good at picking up, so you can just kind of like relax, like if you just wanted to do this, for example, right? I mean, this is a good driving position anyways, but like, you know, if you wanted to have your hand kind of like lower down the steering wheel and just have your, you know, arm on the armrest, then you can do that. Something I really like about this adaptive cruise control system is when my car starts braking, it shows these brake lights illuminate on the Civic that's on the dash. And so obviously, since I'm not doing the braking, then, you know, sometimes like you can physically feel, but sometimes you don't know exactly what the car is doing. This shows you precisely what the car is doing, which is really cool. And I don't know, I like that. So far from a fuel economy perspective, I mean, Utah's pretty quick with the flow of traffic, and so it's, yeah, usually going, you know, mid to high 70s, sometimes low 80s, depending on, you know, the parts of the interstate that we're on, and you know, how fast people want to go. There you go, brakes, you can see that being applied. And getting over 40 miles, well, yeah, 40 miles per gallon so far, which, yeah, that's really solid. I'm curious to see what the, I got this pamphlet in here. Oh my gosh, it is falling apart. Good thing we got all the safety tech. Again, don't try this at home. It's professional driver on a closed course. So this is supposed to get 31 around town, 38 on the highway. This is what the window sticker says. Okay, look at that. Again, don't do that. Really stupid, but just for demonstration purposes. So the fact that I'm able to get, I mean, so far averaging over 40, just barely over 40, and I'm at like, this part of Utah, you're like 4,500 feet elevation. So we're way above sea level. And so that means this turbocharged engine's doing really well, actually. So that is pretty impressive. If you guys are wondering, I've got it in normal mode. I gotta actually put it in econ mode. I wonder how that's gonna change things. So I'll put it in econ mode and see if that helps out with the fuel economy for the commute. And obviously I don't care with throttle response because I'm not driving, the car is. So yeah, and then also climate controls. I mean, I'm very comfortable. This doesn't have air conditioned seats. It has heated seats though, which obviously aren't going to apply right now because it's well, the middle of summer pretty much. But you know, the heated seats would be great for winter time, obviously here in Utah. Wow, fuel economy just bumped up even more, 41. I guess econ mode's working. Yeah, other than that, I'm just going to continue on with the commute. I'll give you guys an update with the fuel economy and then with the seat comfort. If there's anything else that pops out to me, but so far, this is a very comfortable car from a suspension standpoint. Like, it's crazy that this is a Civic. Because you guys know I drive a lot of cars. Look at that person, they're just flying. I drive a lot of cars, and you know, I drive a lot of luxury cars too. And you know, I wouldn't necessarily call this a full-blown luxury car, but it's really dang close. It's like in between a regular car and a luxury car in terms of ride comfort, interior, and all of that. So it's pretty impressive what Honda's done here. Okay, so I have discovered a few things that I'm not exactly a huge fan of here in the Civic. So first off, with the steering assistance, I have it turned off right now. It's a good system, it's not a great system. I have driven several cars like and again, these are way more expensive than the Civic, so you gotta give the Civic some slack. Like the Mercedes-Benz S580 and like the new Jeep Grand Cherokee Overland, that basically have systems that are just a lot better than this in terms of the steering. So like this is pretty good in like 95% of circumstances, but sometimes it loses the lane and then you're just over, and then the lane departure starts beeping, and then the system just freaks out and doesn't know what to do. So there's that. It's kind of annoying. Again, with the whole thing, you have to like really firmly grab onto the steering wheel in terms of getting like the whole like, hey, you're not grabbing the steering wheel thing to go away if for some reason it forgets that your hand is on the steering wheel because you're not tugging enough. So that sometimes gets a little bit old, but again, it's a safety feature, so I'm okay with it. The thing's more annoying is like the fact that it just doesn't track, and it can be kind of jerky. So sometimes it'll like lose the line, take the car over the line, and then it'll realize it's over the line, and then it'll freak out and like kind of jerk you back. It's kind of interesting. So yeah, not a fan of that. In terms of seat comfort, it's pretty good. I do wish this had lumbar though. That's the only thing that I'm kind of like, it'd be nice if it had just, you know, something. And I especially think, yeah, someone's gonna be on like a really long trip in this. These seats are pretty good, but lumbar would definitely make them really good. Now, I actually have some beef with the radio. So this is how you change the channel. It's like that with a button instead of like, I just wish there was another dial. Like, this is for the volume. It feels really good. And by the way, I love the material used throughout the new Civic. It feels very high end. But again, like, you have a volume dial, but then I don't have like a tuner dial. And I understand it has radio presets, so I could just use that functionality. But sometimes I just like to explore music. And so then it's like dun 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 dun, and it's annoying. And you can't use the steering wheel because this is for your presets. So yeah, it's kind of another little downside. And also with the air conditioning, it's pretty good, but I will say that, you know, it's only it's 96 degrees outside today, which is pretty hot, and it does take the cabin a fair amount of time at full blast to cool down. So I guess there's that, but again, that's like most cars. I do wish this had ventilated seats though. I mean, the seats are perforated, so it definitely could have ventilated seats. It just doesn't. If you guys are wanting fuel economy update, I'm almost 43 miles per gallon, 42.8 to be exact, which I don't understand. It's not supposed to get that good, but and it's not like I'm going slow. Like, the flow of traffic in Utah is very fast, and again, we're high elevation, and it's just cruising along. We're at 88 miles on our trip so far, and so yeah, it's performing really well. And yeah, other than those few things, oh, wireless phone charger. I can't get this thing to work. There's like a button that you press to turn it on, and it doesn't do anything. Like, my phone works with every single wireless phone charger, and this one, it won't charge it. So, let me know if you're like a Civic owner and if I'm doing the wrong thing, but I pressed the button to turn it on, and it doesn't do anything. And I have a phone case, but again, other wireless phone chargers charge my phone through the phone case. So, yeah. Other than that, that's pretty much everything I can tell you guys for this review. The next update I'll give you will just be like the closing and basically final fuel economy number and yeah, any other thoughts that I might have. But yeah, that's the Civic so far. Okay, so I just got back from my trip, a total of 160 miles driven for this little fuel economy / commuter test. And it was a pretty interesting test because, you know, this didn't pop up on camera because I wasn't filming during this time, but it was raining like crazy during certain parts, tons of rush hour traffic. And so I feel like this was a really good test because the first part was like very minimal traffic and like a perfect sunny day, and then the second part was like tons of rain and also tons of traffic as well. But anyways, averaged 40.9 miles per gallon over 160 miles. And so yeah, overall pretty impressive. And on seat comfort, yeah, really comfortable. And so overall, other than like the few things I mentioned in the video, I think this is a really, really good like daily driver car.